Have you ever been asked to take a funeral for a friend? I have, and I have a little bit of experience now of what that feels like and some of the things you need to be aware of, some of the advantages and some of the considerations. Now, if you haven't trained yet to be a celebrant and you're still asked to do that, I think you still need to consider it because there are things, some advantages here that would be very beneficial. Firstly, you're going to really be at the heart of a funeral that will really show you whether you are ready and whether you are right for this role. There can be no greater test than to do this. So if you do decide to take your friend's funeral and people come up to you afterwards and say it was beautiful, it was just what she or he would have wanted, then those are the indicating signs that, yes, this is a profession for you. Another good thing is that you know the deceased, you know what they wanted, their values, their beliefs, their character, and you, as the funeral celebrant, can help to shape that and to honour them in a way that you know that they would have wanted. Grief, it might go two ways. So it might help you to grieve for your friend by doing this wonderful thing for them and for honouring them, or it could go the other way, and you need to be aware of this. It could be that by doing all the planning, the organising, and with all the worry that comes with that and the responsibility that comes with that, you could shelf your grief and not allow it to express itself. And of course, when we hold back grief, there can be repercussions for that. So this is just for you to be aware of that is a possibility. There is also a downside in that you will know them so well that the temptation will be to stop listening to other people because you will assume things. So be careful with that, because when we talk to the family and friends of our lovely friend, we have to ask open questions and really actively listen to those answers without assuming we know what they're going to say, or even changing the meaning of what they're going to say to fit in with what we think. So as funeral celebrants, we are facilitators. It's not about us, it's about the deceased. And the deceased can be seen in different viewpoints from different people. So it's a bit of a skill to weave that through. If you have never done a funeral before, I would say take some advice from your funeral director, who you'll be working with quite closely. And if you know any other funeral celebrants, reach out to them and ask them some top tips about this and lean on them a little bit. And any funeral celebrant worth their salt will be helpful, I'm sure. I know I would be. The other thing we need to think about is how difficult this is going to be. It's probably going to be one of the hardest things you do. If you have already trained, even if you are an experienced celebrant, this is going to be a difficult job for you. And we talk in Celebrancy about protecting our emotional welfare, about perhaps putting a cloak over us so that we can have that little barrier between expressing emotion uncontrollably, which is obviously not what we want to do, and just keeping that professionalism so that we can really deliver it well and allow others to grieve without them looking at us and for us to become the centre of attention. It isn't about us, it's about the deceased, it's about your dear friend, and that's quite an art to do. So if you're watching this and you haven't yet trained, do think about training if you think this is a calling for you. And if you have trained and you would like to deliver a funeral for a friend and you're coming to this for advice, just be careful to protect yourself emotionally, to think about your own grief and never assume what other people are going to say. I hope that's been helpful. Thank you. Bye.